Okay guys, good evening. So in today's video, I want to walk you through a valid break of structure and a stop hunt, right? Now this is something so many persons do not understand because and as a result of that, they take trades they are not meant to take, right? So let me invalid break of structure and invalid break of structure. So basically this is what we'll be talking about now, and I'll show you how to identify a valid break of structure, right? So basically you have this as a high, this as a low, this as a high, this as a low, this as a high, this as a low, and this as a high, right? So I'll have price do this. We'll call this a break of structure. So this is a break of structure, this is a break of structure, and okay, sorry, this is a break of structure as well. Let me take this off. So this is a break of structure, right? Now when do we say and one thing you also need to know is that a valid break of structure breaks with the candle close, right? So let's say this is your candle. A valid break of structure would valid break of structure would break here, like so this candle would close above this high. So basically let's take this as this high, and this is a candle here, right? So the candle would break above this high like this, okay? So when a candle closes above a previous high like this, we call it a valid break of structure, right? So that is one thing you need to know. Then also, if it closes with the wick, like if we have something like this, if we have something like this, we will not say this is a valid break of structure. This is an invalid break of structure. This is an invalid break of structure. I will show you this everything on the chart. I'll show everything on the chart as well. So for this case, this is not a valid break of structure, right? But for this is a valid break of structure. So let's just go straight to the charts and I'll show you examples. Okay, so as you can see from here, this is the daily time frame. From here to here, this is not a break of structure. This is a liquidity sweep. Price swept liquidity and reversed immediately. So this is not a break of structure. This is not a valid break of structure. Then this is where we had a break of structure from here. Basically it's supposed to be this, right? But as you can see from here, this is also not a break of structure, because if we take this out, this is not a break of structure. If we take this section out from here, this is not a break of structure. But with this close here, with this price action close here, then we can say that is a valid break of structure, right? Also, this place here is not a break of structure. That was a liquidity sweep, right? That was a liquidity sweep, and you see immediately price swept the liquidity, will reversed back. Watch this one as well. Immediately we took out this liquidity, which is not a valid break of structure. We reversed back. Okay, so same thing is happening here as well. Same thing happened there. This is not a valid break of structure. This is not where the break of structure happened. Um, so immediately price took out this high, we reversed back, right? Then look closely as well. We had the valid break of structure here, right? But apart from here, every other thing we've been having has just been invalid break of structure. This is not a valid break of structure. This is not a valid break of structure. Now you might be wondering, um, why am I qualifying this as an invalid break of structure, but it closed with the body of the candle? Now the reason I'm not qualifying it as a valid break of structure is because immediately price took it out, market started reversing, right? So it's not a valid break of structure. So this was the last point we had, a valid break of structure from the daily time frame. So basically, um, for break of structure, I take my break of structure from the daily time frame and the 4 hour time frame, right? So this is a valid break of structure. This is not a valid break of structure. This is not a valid break of structure. This is not a valid break of structure. This is so this for this particular case. This is where we had the break of structure. So automatically this becomes a protected low, and you can see how price reacted from that candlestick. You can see how price reacted from that candlestick here. Okay, so these are valid break of structure. Let's look at another example. Okay, now if you look here, this is a break of structure. Look at where price came. Look at where the break actually happened here. This is where the break actually happened. So it's a valid break of structure. What else? What else? This is not a valid break of structure. It's not a valid break of structure, even though price closed with the full body. So this is actually a buy stop, a sell stop. Yeah, this is actually a sell stop. So by sell stop, what I mean is some persons, what they actually do is this. So on zones like this, they take sell stop. Sell stop is like, okay, you know the market will get to this point and it will keep selling, right? So they just put their limit like this and do something like this, right? So immediately price get to that point, the expectation is price will keep going down. But what price did was immediately price got to that point, it reversed and hit their stop loss. So this is what we call as sell stop liquidity, right? So let's go back to the where we stopped. I believe by now we've been able to identify a valid break of structure and an invalid break of structure. Now from here we can see this is a clean trend line liquidity. This is a clean trend line liquidity, and the price action on Friday, price came and took it out. Price came and took out the trend line liquidity. And as you can see, we are reacting from this other block here. We are currently reacting from this other block. So my expectation for US30 this week is I'm bullish on US30. Now this is a swing high, this is a swing low. This point here is a swing low, and the reason is because this was the last pullback we had that led to this break of structure, and price is still protecting it, so it's still a protected low. Now this is a swing high. So I have a swing low and a swing high. A swing high. So basically, if I have to take a position, I'll be targeting this high because generally we are bullish, right? So you wouldn't want to counter trade unless you see a bearish order flow. Then you can take your counter trades. But for now, there is no bearish order flow. So we'll stick to the bull trend, right? So if you also check with your fib level, I actually use gang box. You can also use a fib level. If you check the discount and premium, you discover we are actually at the premium level, right? From the daily time frame, we're actually at the premium level. So you would want to wait for price to come back to the discounts to continue your buy to the upside. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. For the 4-hour time frame, you notice this stuff here is not, it didn't get to this other block. Let's check the 2 hours time frame. Same thing. The 1 hour time frame, same thing. Okay, so basically I'm expecting two things to happen. Okay, from the 4-hour time frame, you notice we mitigated this other block. We mitigated this other block. Um, let's check the 2-hour time frame. Okay, so from the 2-hour time frame, that is a clear mitigation. So let me go down to the 1-hour time frame. Okay, so from the 1-hour time frame, we've mitigated that point and we swept liquidity. Okay, we swept liquidity and you can see this low becomes a protected low. This place becomes a valid low. I would want to take the buy. I would want to continue the buy. So where would I want to buy from? Wow, price has already gotten to this zone. I would have loved to buy from here. Yes, I would have loved to buy from here. But that zone has been mitigated already. So I would wait for the next day for price to give us a buy zone. So I'm certainly going to be bullish. I would have loved to take my buy from here, but that zone is mitigated already. Unless price would come down to this zone. Let me go to the 15 minutes. Everything has been mitigated. Everything has been mitigated. I had this mitigation here. I think the only zone price might trade into now is here. So I'll take entry from the body of this candle. That is the only zone I would be looking for a buy because everything here has been mitigated. So that is the only zone I would be looking for a buy. So when by tomorrow I would want price to trade into this zone and then we'll continue the buy. Okay, but I don't like taking entries from the 15 minutes time frame that much. Yeah, I don't like actually taking entries from the 15 minutes time frame that much. So I would stick to the 30 minutes 1 hour. I'll stick to the 30 minutes 1 hour. So from the concept of break of structure, look at this here. we had this. Immediately we broke that, price came and mitigated something here, and is currently going to the upside. So either ways, it's either would come, it's either price would come somewhere here and continue the buy to the upside, something like this. Okay, so I would actually, if I'm buying, I would actually set my TP here, because price can actually sell from this zone. Price can sell from this zone here. So, but if you look closely, if you look closely, you discover that is a trend line liquidity anyway for price to take out. Yes, so this is a clean trend line liquidity. Our targets. So this is a clean trend line liquidity for price to take out on US 30. So I'll be expecting price to react from this first. Then price will probably react from that. Come here, give us an entry. Then we'll continue the buy to take out this trend line liquidity. So I'll be expecting this on US 30 for this week. If you found this video useful, don't forget to give me a follow, subscribe, and turn on notification bell, so whenever I make videos like this, you get notified. Thank you.